Some like it hot, some like it hot.
Hello there and welcome to episode 3 of 3 in the preview shows for the 7th and 8th of December with me, Phil Lindsay.
Myself, Ingram Jones.
This time we're covering what a lot of people would certainly class as the biggest fight of the weekend, certainly the biggest one of the month. Bit of a discussion topic though, but it's one you can't avoid. It's Manny Pacquiao. It's Juan Manuel Marquez. Ingram?
There's only one.
Manuel Marquez.
What?
Only one.
There's different takes on it. I predicted that Timothy Bradley would win the fight controversially on points because I suspected that it was in Bob Alvin's favour to have, because he just signed Tim Bradley to have his new Golden Goose in, and a way of getting Manny Pacquiao to sign a new contract. Manny Pacquiao's now signed a new contract, and we've got this fight against Manuel Marquez. Now, Marquez is possessed or obsessed about Manny Pacquiao. Now, when I made a prediction about this fight way back. I said, not interested in the fourth fight. I really believe that Marquez will do exactly what he did in the other fights, and it's just a matter of whether they want to give it to Marquez or not. I'm going to change my opinion on this fight now. Marquez has gotten bigger. He's supposedly gotten stronger. Now this can work one of two ways, because Manny's talking about bringing a fight to Marquez. Now, Manny fights the same way in every fight. Sorry, he fights the same way in every fight. He's no fancy Dan. He brings the fight to you with his hand speed and combination punches. And sometimes when he's throwing his combinations, he falls over his punches. If you get on, he
reaches for them.
Reaches for them, yes. And that really works into in the last fight, Marquez. The reason why Marquez wasn't knocked down in that bout was because Marquez, every time Manny was coming forward, he'd take an inch step back, step back, just missing with punches and still able to counter Manny. It was a fantastic boxing performance, and to be fair, I thought Marquez won the fight quite easily.
Yeah.
On points. Now, what's going to change in this fight? What are the factors? Well, there are a few factors. Manny Pacquiao and his political aspirations remain the same. However, Freddie Roach's record, his 3 fights that he's had recently, have been 3 defeats. He's 3 fighters. Now, Roach is back in control with Pacquiao, and I don't think Roach's skills have got any better. I think that if his conditioning is getting worse, I think that's a factor. I don't know what the situation is with Alex Ariza in terms of strength and conditioning and all that stuff. But what I do,
internal politics with all of that as well.
Yes, but I can tell you one thing: Juan Manuel Marquez boxed beautifully against Pacquiao the last fight, and I think he's gonna improve on that. This business of Pacquiao attacking. Well, he did the first fight and the second fight and he did well, but Marquez got wise to it, and it's a high weight division. So Manny Pacquiao is not as fast as he was in those lower weight divisions. So I think, personally, I'm going to be a bit more daring in my prediction. I think that the more focused man will win the fight. I think even this time, the person that's going to go down in this fight will not be Marquez. But I'm going to go that Manny Pacquiao gets dropped in this fight. I don't know if he gets knocked out in this fight, but I'm going with Manny Pacquiao to get dropped in this fight. I'm going with that one. I think Marquez might be slower because he's put that bulk on.
Yeah.
But with that bulk, he may be that much more stronger, able to absorb a shot a lot better. And if they've done the training right, because they've obviously been doing this over a period of time, over the 4 fights, Marquez has gotten better. Pacquiao's boxed the same way. So I'm looking for Marquez to put on an even better performance at 39.
Well, I think you just mentioned those 2 little digits there, 3 and 9, 39. Yeah. We're not playing bingo here. But against Pacquiao's 3 and 3 whatever the bingo shout is for that 33, double carpets. I think that Marquez, at this stage, he's going to struggle for the pace, especially like you say, he's bulked up, he's stronger now. And I think Pacquiao at this stage is going to be a little less predictable. I think because of the results he'd had since the second Marquez fight, and the way that Mayweather really did a number on Marquez, I think Pacquiao, as well as other people, really fancied stopping Marquez. And I think you underestimated him because of that as well. And I think this time round, Pacquiao may be fading compared to what he was at his peak. But I think he's got enough left compared to Marquez at 39, at that sort of lower weight. It's not like a heavyweight at 39, it's a you know, like a welterweight at 39. And I think Pacquiao, although his work rate isn't what it used to be either, he's taken long rests in rounds now, he's taken rounds off now, and I think that was one of the large reasons why Marquez won the last fight. Marquez didn't win it on speed, he won it on counters and he won it on timing. Although he didn't win it, but in terms of the moral victory, he won it on those things. And I think if, because of the extra size and speed and the age, even with those timing, I think Pacquiao is just going to be too busy for him.
Well, I thought that for the third. I thought it for the third fight, but I actually went for Marquez. I thought, oh, Marquez will be older, he'll be this and that. But Marquez doesn't get into hard fights. He doesn't get into hard fights as such. He's a very good technical boxer. And I just think that Marquez, for me, I mean, yes, you say these things about Pacquiao, but Pacquiao struggles against better boxers. There are guys that don't stand in front of him.
Yeah. I think Marquez, he was underestimated for the third one, which is ridiculous. But when you think of the fights that Pacquiao had at the time, and he hadn't been found wanting at the time, and the way that Marquez was vastly outclassed by Mayweather in terms of just the way the outcome of the fight, regardless of size, anything like that, it was he did well to get through. I thought Mayweather could have actually stopped him later on. But after those things, I think Pacquiao and Roach underestimated Marquez, and I don't see that happening this time round.
But Roach is not a technical genius. He's not a technical genius. He's never been a technical genius.
No,
so
he's very good in terms of he's very composed when he's in the corner, and he's good in terms of getting the message across to his fighters.
Yes.
Now,
offensively, not defensively.
Yes. Now, we've said it a few times about Roach with his deteriorating physical condition and his inability to communicate as effectively, which I would say used to be his strongest point. Then it's a fight that I wouldn't argue either way, but I do think that Pacquiao he'll be too busy, and he's not going to be countered as easily. I think Marquez stopped him with how easily he was able to counter him last time round, and they'll be better prepared for it this time.
So I think so. So I think the better trainer in the corner is Nacho Beristain. I think he's a fantastic trainer, real technical trainer.
So if you're thinking Marquez is going to drop Pacquiao,
yes.
What's your fight prediction?
I'm going Marquez winning this fight either late stoppage or on points. I'm going with Marquez again. I just think a technically better fighter is always a technically better fighter. No matter how much you say you're going to rush somebody, I think Marquez has got better with age. He's got a better fighter with age. Pacquiao's done the same stuff all around, and the reason why people say Pacquiao's looks worse is because he's fought better opposition. Notice, he's fought better opposition, better technically adept fighters, whether it be Lindsay Bradley or who's fresher and had the ambition to win. And he couldn't even knock Timothy Bradley out with one leg. let's be fair. Timothy Bradley had one leg and he couldn't knock Timothy Bradley out. And this whole Jesus thing and him going to God and all this stuff now, you know, I don't know where.
I'm not going to pick that hot potato up. I'll leave that one with you. I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to go Pacquiao on points, but I wouldn't be surprised because Marquez has been down quite a few times in his career. Obviously, 3 times in the first round at the fort.
Yes,
but he's been down against other fighters, and I think
we're talking in welterweight division. We're talking about that last fight, and Pacquiao never came close to dropping Marquez. Never came close to it.
I think he's going to be better this time round. I think he has to be, because if he doesn't, if Pacquiao doesn't perform, regardless of the result, if Pacquiao doesn't perform, it's his last major fight, really, in terms of huge box office. So,
but think about it. Aaron's got a fantastic opportunity to. I don't know what the relationship between Aaron and Pacquiao is, but with the 50 Cent coming on board for Pacquiao, I would not be surprised if Aaron stuck his middle finger up at Pacquiao and said, you know what, this fight does the points, I'm going to give it to Marquez. And then make a fight between Marquez and Timothy Bradley.
Not that Aaron makes any decisions regarding the judges' scorecards, of course, Ingram. I know you wouldn't suggest that for a second, because, you know, we do try to avoid controversy on the Boxing Hangout as best we can. But no, we tell it like it is, and there's obviously certain decisions, like the last one with the Bradley fight. Again, we can go into that discussion another time because we've got 2 other fights to cover here. But there's certain politics within boxing that I think that we need to cover off, because there's certain broadcasters don't cover certain aspects of these things, and I think. But let's see. I think that's a different show. We'll cover those things. We'll do a special on the corruption and the politics of boxing. So I'm going Pacquiao points, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if he caught up with him late just to make a point, because Pacquiao lost his last fight when he thought that he was ahead against Bradley. He might want, if he's got a chance late on, he might want to take it away from the judges. And if Marquez at 39, he could grow old on Saturday night. It very easily could happen.
He could go old, and in Pacquiao's and wanting to try and finish a fight off, he could walk onto a bomb.
Well, there you go. Well, like you say, that's the predictions in. So you're going points, or are you going to go for a round?
I'm not going to go for a round. I'm going with Marquez late stoppage or points.
Alright, well, like I say, I'll go points, Pacquiao, and I'm fairly comfortable with that.
Countering again, I think it'll be the same fighter, and I think Marquez will bring more to the table in terms of tactics.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, like I say, I think it's a fight that could go either way. Every one of the fights that they've had could go either way.
Yes.
I'm hoping that it's just a better spectacle as a fight than the third one, because as a spectacle, the last one was disappointing to the point that I haven't been that interested in this one. It was such a anticlimax after 2 good fights that they had the first time round. It was just too technical. I'm a purist. I love technical boxing, and I appreciated it.
But Marquez made it like that.
Yeah.
Marquez made the fight. It's down to what. It's not down to what Manny does, because Manny's going to do the same thing. It's down to if Marquez has got anything different. Nacho Beristain brought anything different to the table of this fight. I think they've been preparing for this victory. They've been denied it before. So, you know, it's down to Marquez, really. Down to Marquez whether he can fulfill a game plan under pressure. That's what it is.
If Pacquiao uses more side-to-side footwork, he can then impact this fight more rather than come forward in straight lines like he did last time.
I can't see him doing that, to be honest. I really can't. But then, you know, we'll see. And this time Marquez has kept the sparring behind closed doors. Very interesting.
Well, that could be for positive or negative reasons. The next fight, a WBA featherweight title fight between Javier Fortuna and Patrick Hyland. Have you had much of a look at this one?
I looked at Patrick Hyland. Interesting. He hasn't got as much coverage as I'd like to see with him, but from what I've seen, he's got some good boxing skill, good boxing talent. Yeah, he's pretty decent against Mr. Fortuna. Mr. Fortuna, from what I've seen of him, he has a habit of rushing into opponents and trying to finish fights off very early. And he's got a nasty left hook on him from what I remembered of things I've seen of him.
Yeah.
And Hyland could get caught with those shots. It just depends on whether Hyland can keep Mr. Fortuna off him and not get caught with that left hook. That's what I see the fight. He's got good boxing skill, don't get me wrong, Hyland, but I just get a sneaking feeling that left hook's going to land on Mr. Fortuna's chin. But you know what? I think also Hyland's got the ability to outbox Fortuna in this fight. He has got the ability to outbox him. But I'm going to go Fortuna by knockout. Sorry.
Well, I've got my notes down here. I haven't seen both of them fight that much. I've seen a few clips on YouTube once again.
Yes.
In terms of the pair of them taking on each other, I think credit again for two unbeaten fighters prepared to take on another unbeaten fighter.
Yes.
Looking at both of the records, Fortuna is fought better opposition. He's mixed it more. He's had less fights, but he's had more stoppages. I think that's relevant. And in terms of Hyland, yes, I agree he's got good boxing skills, but it could be another one of those scenarios where, when I look at the people he's fought, in terms of not a great deal of danger there, it's why hasn't he been put in risky fights before this? He's had 27 fights, and I mean, Ricky Hatton fought a lot of like IBO fights and things like that before he finally fought Kostya.
Yes.
And it was very slow progression, and with Hatton, it wasn't like he was chinny in any way, but he certainly had a lot of vulnerabilities.
Yes.
More early on. I've gone for Fortuna. I think I've gone round 4. And
Do you remember Bernard Dunn?
yes.
Had a lot of ability, a lot of talent. And you see where he got knocked out in a round by I can't remember who he fought. He got sparked in a round. I think in Ireland it happened. In his hometown, he got knocked out in a round, fighting for a world title.
Oh, I can't remember who stopped him, but I remember him being a skillful all-round boxer. He had everything in terms of technical ability, the footwork.
Yes.
He could punch with both hands, speed.
Hyland reminds me of him. We'll see what happens with Fortuna catching that left hook.
Well, I think Fortuna will catch him. I think with Hyland only having 12 knockouts and 27 wins, not at world level.
Yeah, Fortuna's going to go out there. He's going to go out there and try and knock Hyland out. You can see. He'll just run out from the first round, run across the centre of the ring and go for him. Well, that's what he does. Backs you up against and unloads that left hook.
And I think Hyland at first, I think he'll be able to deal with it, but the pressure will become too much. But if, at the same point, if Fortuna doesn't take him out within 6, he might blow himself out.
Yeah, he could do
and that'll be interesting to see. So
the other thing is, I can see Hyland could counter this guy. He could counter. He's got the ability to counter Fortuna, but I just have this sneaking suspicion that left hook will land, and then that would be that, to be honest.
The difference with this, I think Fortuna has fought fighters at Hyland's level and come through. Hyland hasn't fought fighters of Fortuna's level.
No.
But tomorrow night or Saturday night he is. So at least he's we're going to find out. But like I say, I think we both agree with the Fortuna knockout. If anybody else out there watching the show has got any other ideas, give us a tweet at Boxing Hangout, and we'll certainly retweet them. And it's going to be interesting, like I say. But we've got one. Did you pick a round on that one?
Didn't I say within 6?
Go on, pick an individual round just to be pedantic.
3.
I'm on 4.
I'm going with 3.
And there's one extra world title fight on the bill as well, between Miguel Vazquez against Mercito Gesta.
No, I want to change that. I want to change it to 6. I think Hyland's got some boxing abilities, so I'm going to go for 6.
Going to go for 6 instead of 3.
6.
I'm sticking with 4.
Okay.
So in terms of Vazquez against Gesta?
Vazquez, the first man to beat British Prescott, I believe.
Yeah, and he actually went down in the first round against Prescott.
Yes. Gesta is the Filipino superstar. Also the next Filipino superstar with Nonito there.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao. And I think Gesta's the next one on the list through. Now, for me, I think Gesta's going to win this fight. That straight left hand will be the key. I think he'll put the straight left hand right down the pipe in terms of Vazquez. I think Vazquez doesn't move around that much, and I think he'll be there to get hit. If Gesta doesn't win the fight by knockout, it will go to points, and Aaron controlling things, I suspect Gesta will win by points. So Gesta to win the fight, unless Vazquez knocks Gesta out, which I can't see happening. I'm looking for Gesta by knockout. So Gesta by knockout.
Well, I've gone Gesta on points. I think he's going to apply more pressure. He's got more ambition.
Yes.
Vazquez is generally fairly durable, though. I mean, like I say, after going down against Prescott and then getting up and then turning the fight round and winning, just in terms of durability.
Yeah,
in terms of durability.
Yeah, he's a sloppy puncher, though. He's very sloppy, Prescott. I mean, his best night was against Amir Khan, let's be fair. But since then...
But bear in mind, that was at the lower weight. Since Prescott went up the light welter, he hasn't been as concussive, whereas at lightweight, he was thunderous. Now, you've also got... Vazquez has gone the distance with a man you're a huge fan of, Canelo. He went the distance with him twice. He actually had a split decision on his debut against Canelo.
Right.
But he's gone the distance twice, so I'm seeing him as plenty durable enough, and that's why I'm going for Gesta on points.
I'm going with Gesta by knockout, straight left hand through the middle, all night long.
Do you want to intimate towards a round?
I don't know. I'm going to go Gesta early. Actually, I'm going to go with a Gesta fight knockout early. I'm going early. I'm going to go early with Gesta. I'm not going to go round. I'm going to go early. Inside
early,
6.
So early's like within the first 11 rounds, yeah? Probably after the case if he knocks him out in 10. Oh well, I said it would be early. Could have been 35 rounds, but he took him out in 10. That'll be the. But no, I'm going on points. So if you go for stoppage, I'm comfortable with the points win there.
Alright, I see. I'm going Gesta inside the distance, straight left hand through the middle.
Straight left hand through the middle. Well, I think he'll dominate the fight on that, but I don't think he'll stop him. I think he might have him down, but if he stops him, I think it'll be late, if any.
Okay.
But we'll see. But that's the three main fights on the US bill. Is there anything else you'd like to add at all, Ingram, before we adjourn?
I really hope that Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao, whoever wins this fight, it's done in a fair, clean fashion. That there's no controversy, because I don't want to see Juan Manuel Marquez fight, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I think also it's interesting that the American bill's going out on prime time.
Yeah.
Prime time definitely establishing themselves as broadcasters. I don't know how many people. I don't know if they're going to get as many subscriptions to this fight because of the last one being a bit of an anticlimax. But because they've got some decent fights on the undercard, including you've got Gamboa on there as well. But I think the true boxing fans will be tuning in. But just one thing, I know you've done your research since we did the first preview show regarding the Anthony Crolla fight, regarding the availability where that can be viewed tonight.
I believe that fight's going to be shown on Dave Colwell TV. So you look that up online under, I think it's under British Boxers. It's an application, so for iPhone, I believe, and it's £1.99 or £1.50 and £2.99 for subscription, something like that. I don't work for Dave Colwell, but Dave Colwell Boxing, look it up.
Well, what we'll do, Ingram, we'll actually put a link on the Twitter feed regarding how you can get details about the view of the show. We'll get the link on the show for that as well.
It's been tweeted already, so it's there.
Oh, that's great. In that case, then, let's wrap this one up. We've gone over the 20 minutes as per usual. So we've got Pacquiao, Marquez, Fortuna, Hyland, and Vazquez Gesta with some various predictions. It's such an objective sport, isn't it, Ingram?
It is indeed, but we seem to be agreeing a lot, so...
Too much. We'll put that right next week. But I'll tell you what, we've got nine fights plus whatever else comes out of the undercards as well. We've got a good review show to do on Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing what actually happens over these bills.
Where am I in terms of the predictions? Because I had a good weekend.
I think you're about 2 points down, I would guess. Top of my head. But we'll check that out, and we'll certainly know the scores by the time the review show's done on Sunday. There, my friend.
The fans know. What about the website, Mr. Lindsay?
It's been a busy week. At the very latest, it'll be one more week before the website's up. At the very latest, I'm going to try and get something up by Sunday. But if not by Sunday, I'll certainly have something up by the following weekend.
Okay, excellent stuff. I'm sure the viewers would like that.
Definitely a chance to interact more, give everybody have their chance to have their say and things. There's going to be a whole lot of different interaction options on there, so I'm looking forward to getting it up. But in the meantime, this has been Phil Lindsay.
This is Ingram Jones from the Boxing Hangout.
Bye bye now.
Some like it hot. Some like it hot.